right, honey. Working that keyboard harder than you working that vest, honey. Somebody went to Men's Warehouse today. Yes. You had a coupon and a show. You're like, give me the tightest vest. Justin Timberlake isn't making music. Give me that vest. This is fucking great. I have not seen so many old white people out on a Friday night since I did a Zumba class with my mom. Look at you motherfuckers. This is great. Is this part of your AARP plan? Do you get in here for free? Holy shit, I thought Dr. Oz was coming. There's so many old white people. Look, can you hear me? They can't even hear me. Anyways, it's fine. Or they hate me. Either way, I'm used to it. Oh, fuck, we got a profile. Look at that. That's so fun. Can you get that profile shot again? See, this is what happens when you fall asleep on your shit. On a plane. Plus, you got my Pinot Grigio chin. Can you go elsewhere? Wait, this is like the camel hoof shot. It's not even a camel toe. It's a camel hoof. I'm a fucking mess. This shirt used to be a dress, and I put it in the dryer. And now I have a blousy top. What the fuck? I'm a mess. Thank God I have brown titties and freckles. It's the only thing holding it together and keeping me cute. Ow! Brown titties and freckles. That's your new song. I don't know what's happening either. I have been trying to get bikini body ready for like 36 years. And I'm 39. Moving on. I'm 39. Isn't that crazy? Blackish, don't crackish. Monday nights, ABC, 9 p.m. I am that's like Puerto Rican grandma age. I should have like generations. I have a dog, you know what I mean? Like, I turned 38, my ovaries were high-fiving. And they're like, take care of something. And I was like, all right. And so I adopted a lab mastiff, and I should have Googled what a mastiff was because this bitch is so big. She is black and beautiful and won't stop growing. I call her Precious. What? Ayo! Ayo! I don't know what's happening either, sir. You're looking at me like Raven Simone got so crazy, and you're right. She fucking did. Can I curse? Fuck it. Anyways, I don't know. Thank God the lighting's dark. I can't see you guys. Why'd you put all the cool black people in the back? Hey guys. Damn, I loved you on Drag Race. Moving on. Come on, it's variety, it's comedy. You got plus-size titties telling you jokes. I can't. Can we get this camera guy some knee pads? Jesus, that's not in the budget, WNYC. We don't have no knee pads for the camera guy. God, your knees look like me, like on my honeymoon. Ow! So I was sucking dick. That's how you stay married. You just gotta suck. And I love my husband. I want to suck it right off. You know what I mean? And that's love. I don't know if that guy's laughing or if he needs an EpiPen, but that was real. Ah! Ah! That was so real, honey. Like, did you guys pay for this? I should tell you some jokes. Okay. No need? Perfect. I don't have any. I just have a raging camel toe I can't pick. I know the old people are like, so crass. You're right. I have feelings and nowhere to put them. So, I love my husband. We've been married for 6 years. Everyone thinks we're newlyweds. And, you know, I just feel like we're newlyweds because we're still paying for the wedding. So it feels new. And when I first got married, it was like cray. Everyone like asked me the same dumb question. How'd you guys meet? I'm like it's supposed to be some rom-com with like Julia Roberts or like Jennifer Lopez and some white boy you never heard of. It's like, really? I lost 7 pounds and I wanted someone to see me naked, okay? That's how we met. Is that what you fucking want? Like, I got out, he got me drunk, I sat on his dick and fell in love, okay? That's it. But you can't put that shit in your wedding vows. People are very judgy. And when I got married too, everyone was like, oh my God, can I see the ring? Let me see the ring. Let me see the bling. Where's the diamond? I'm like, why are other people getting a boner from my jewelry? It's stupid. Number one. Number two, I'm anti-diamond. I have a very simple wedding band. Can you see that? Can you see that? Well, over here, boo-boo. There you go. Can we get it? Yeah, take two. Take three. This is terrible. There's so much chin. My chin looks like an ass. How's that even possible? But yeah, I'm so anti-diamond. I saw this crazy documentary about these kids in West Africa who every day had to walk up this mountain. And just kidding, he's broke. Oh my God. Take your time, motherfuckers. Damn. We'll do colors and numbers tomorrow. I am not anti-diamond. I love diamonds. He can't afford it. He's broke. I love him anyways. It's a story I tell. He is broke as fuck, but you know what? I love him because I do. I love him. He makes me feel like a Kardashian, okay? Special for no reason. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, is that Harry Potter? Okay. Harry Potter went to Manzara. Okay. My husband is so cute. You should definitely follow him on Instagram. He is white. I like him anyways. I could take him places. He wears shoes. He doesn't rap. He doesn't have a fedora. Ugh, too much. He's European, so he's like vintage white. What? Yeah, he's the real thing. People are always like, what's vintage white? I'm like, it means nothing. It means he can like ride a bike and has foreskin. Like, that's it. I am really enjoying how uncomfortable everybody is. Now you know what I feel like in plus size, high-waisted jeans. So uncomfortable, but cute at the same time. My husband is from Holland, which is also the Netherlands. Just found that out. That's cool. I learned shit. And I love going to Holland with him. I feel so exotic. Like, you know, I just have like big hair and freckles. Everyone's like, it's friendly. Let's talk to it. I'm like, hi. But I feel really exotic. Like, I just walk down like the streets and everyone's like, oh my God, who's fat Beyonce? I'm like, shut up! This is like Beyonce with Parkinson's. I don't even know what this is. Oh God, these tits are so heavy. All right. It looks like the tits are in prison right now. Oh my God, I'm like working out to fit into workout clothes, for real. I haven't worn shorts since like Tiffany had an album. It's insane. Do y'all remember Tiffany? Of course you do. You guys are so old. Is anyone here married, by the way? Does everyone speak English? Okay. Thank you, Bow. I do love going to Holland. My mother-in-law's real cute. She doesn't speak a lot of English. That's how I like to keep it real simple. Like, let's just point at shit. But her Dutch accent is so heavy, I don't know what the fuck she's saying half the time. I'm like, subtitles. I was just there for Christmas, and I took a shower in her bathroom. And when I came out the shower, what she had asked me was, Michelle, can you please clean up the water you spilled on the floor? But what I heard was, I can't believe my son married a black woman. It's that Dutch accent. I like Holland. It's just such an old country, you know what I mean? I feel like they don't get it. They don't get when they're being inappropriate or slightly ruthless or racial. Like, real talk, like every night when we go to bed, my husband's always like, baby, are you ready to go to the master's bedroom? I'm like, what? What? One night, I was like, you ready to unchain my Django? He's like, what? What? I was eating dinner at my father-in-law's house because I don't miss any meals. Okay. And he was like, Michelle, I want you to try my favorite desserts. I'm like, father-in-law, I love desserts. Let's fucking do this. Like, I thought we were gonna bond. And then he busted out like this marshmallow with a graham cracker in it, like covered in milk chocolate. I was like, this is #basic, boo-boo. Like, don't talk up a dessert and give me some marshmallows and shit. And he was like, no, you must try these. These are called Negerzunen. And I was like, what'd you say, father-in-law? He's like, yeah, Negerzunen. It translates to Negro kisses, and they are delicious. I was like, wow! Yes. I was like, hear what, father-in-law? Yes, you are right. Negro kisses are delicious. Meow, am I right? But when you come visit us in Brooklyn, you need to call this shit s'mores. Like, I cannot call Al Sharpton over some s'mores. I'm not making any of this shit up. This is all fucking true. My brother-in-law, his name is Cohen. Spelled C-O-E-N, that's his name. It's a popular Dutch name. What? And my husband and I got married in Miami in July because it's 40% cheaper to get married during hurricane season. You're welcome. I love a refund. And I was running errands, and I took Cohen with me, and I went to a Walmart. And when I walked in, and then he walked in, he just yelled, so many ketchups! And like ran away with a hard dick. I was like, where's he going? Where's he going? He was like, mayonnaise! With a boner, leaving. I was like, what? Where's he going? My point is, does anyone in this room know how hard it is to lose your brother-in-law named Cohen at a Walmart in South Florida? It's hard! I was like gently jogging down each aisle, and I was just like, Cohen! I felt like a racist ventriloquist. So I was like, This employee came up to me and she's like, did you lose somebody? Do you want to page him? I was like, no, bitch. No, you're not ready. We are not ready at all. So, my first Christmas in Holland was very spectacular. It was charming. It was snowing everywhere. I was riding my bike. People were like, is that all the chocolate and bread you're going to eat? I'm like, I love this place. I just love me so much. And I saw this picture of their Santa Claus. It's called Sinterklaas. And I was like, oh, okay. But then I saw like a bunch of little people next to him. Like, you know how we have like Mrs. Claus and like the little elves? Well, Santa Claus had his crew too. But they were kind of dark and looking suspect. So, you know, when you see something, you gotta say something. So I was like, hey, husband, who's that? And he was like, oh man, it's so funny. It's real funny. See, Santa Claus was too fat to jump down the chimney because, you know, he's jolly. So that's Swart Pete. It translates to Black Peter. I was like, go on. And he's like, they jump down the chimney for Santa. That's how they get so dark from the dirt. And I was like, uh-huh. Why does he look like Wesley Snipes with an afro? And then you need to get her laughing. She is really just doing it up. Yeah, hi. Oh, no, you don't have to. Just wait for the laughter. Okay. So then I was like, Swart Pete, Black Peter, he looks like Wesley Snipes with this afro and a gold earring. I feel very uncomfortable. So I did some Wikipediaing because that's how you learn shit when you're American. And it turns out that Sinterklaas had a motherfucking slave. What? motherfucker. Hello, Santa had a sleigh. Why don't we know about this shit? Hello, Oprah, Lee Daniels, Mariah Carey, Kim Kardashian. What the fuck? Khloe Kardashian. Somebody do something. Somebody do something. Santa had a sleigh. It's insane. I was like, how come I never heard about this before? And like I started talking to more Dutch people about it, and they're like, oh, it's not racist at all. I'm like, who told you that? And it turns out, you know, now kids apparently love Swart Pete. And I'm like, yeah, they loved him. They love him now because he was probably like tap dancing to save his life. And oh, is this too real for y'all? Should I wait till February? So anyways, thank you, Oprah's Book Club, thank you. So I'm like, fuck, Santa had a sleigh, how are we not talking about this? What do you mean all the kids loved him? They're like, yeah, man, the kids love him. So here's the deal, every year, they can't find black people to dress up as Swart Pete now because they have things like liberty and freedom. So now they have white people put on blackface. Yes, bitch, Google. And here's the deal. My in-laws are not racist. Most Dutch people are not racist. My husband, definitely not racist. But when I see blackface, I think of lynching. And when my husband sees blackface, he thinks of Christmas presents. And because marriage is a compromise, we celebrate Kwanzaa. Yes, oh my God, I feel like Solange up here, thank you. Yes. I want to sit at the table, am I being invited? Fuck. Thank you. How much time do I have? Wrap it up? Okay. He goes like, he's like, you said blackface too many times. Wrap it the fuck up. All right, I'll leave y'all with this. I need to sit down anyways, Julia. My tits are so heavy. Just like two hairless chihuahuas constantly fighting each other. You know what I mean? You don't know what I'm talking about. You so cute, skinny white girl, straight hair. Your life is perfect. You probably just wore that outfit, just tried it on. The first thing you tried on, you're like, it fits, and you go. That's not me, so good for you. I'm just, no. And, you know, I'm just hating. Anyways, so I read this article on HuffPo that if you have a nickname for your significant other, you're supposed to get into less arguments. Does anyone have a nickname for their boo-boo out here that you just want to shout?
Coach.
Did you just say coach? All right. Fucking tag team me in. I nicknamed my Dutch husband IKEA. Because I like to use his face as a chair. Yeah, that's a sex joke. All right, y'all, thank you so much for having me. Enjoy the rest of your lives.
Michelle Buteau, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. Oh my God. I have an amazing voice. Wow. Can you believe? I know. When I was a little girl, gazing out my window, looking at the world, wishing time would just go on and on and on and take me to a new place where I'd sing a song and meet a fresh face. How do we find our calling? How do we know where we belong? If we harbor enough resentment in our teens, we can write a catchy and funny song. Woo! Boys never wanted to kiss me, so now I do. teenage girl. At the big school dance, I playfully grabbed Andrew's hat and away I pranced. It was a flirty thing I'd seen one of the skinny hot girls do, but Andrew was just like, give me my hat back. I cried the whole way home. I thought stealing someone's hat was sexy, but now I'm singing in a dimly lit bar. Andrew is very fat and has a car. Boys never wanted to kiss me, so now I do comedy. I'll do it anywhere. Boys never wanted to kiss me, so I need you and you and you and you to look at me. Please, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Please, please, please. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Ooh, oh, this is healthy. What I'm doing is healthy. This is a good way to work shit out. Yeah. For the record, I've met boys who wanna kiss. Some even wanna put their dick in my mouth, but it's never enough. No, boys never wanted to kiss me, so now I do comedy. Ooh, zip it up. Boys never wanted to kiss me, so I need all of you to look at me. Seriously, please. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Oh, yeah. Hey. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Please, please. So, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Oh, look at me. Stop.
How's everybody's 2017 going so far? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. We are at a public radio event, so figured we'd pretty much be on the same page there. I'm actually not having such a bad 2017, though, mostly because one thing happened to me at the very beginning of the year. I became an uncle for the first time, which was really cool. Oh, thank you so much. I had nothing to do with it. It wasn't my choice, but it's still pretty cool. Less cool, I have a very religious family, and there are some people in my family who don't think I should be around the baby because I'm gay. Which is like really stupid, because it's like, have none of these people ever seen any of the guys that I fucked before? Like, I can do so much better than a fucking baby, you know? Like, what do they think of me? You know, like, my sister's baby wishes, all right? Like, that baby should be so lucky to have a man like me in its life, romantically. No, it's very silly. I am excited about that. That has made my year a little bit better, but I am still, struggling in Trump's America like everybody else. Although I do think I'm sort of like coming into my final stage of grief with the whole thing. Like, I'm starting to get over it. Like, the other day I woke up and I was just like, you know what, like, what's the worst that can happen? I could love conversion therapy, like, that doesn't sound so bad, like, what if I love being straight, I'm just trying to think of all the options here. There's many different possibilities. It's wild. I actually had diarrhea for the first 9 days of Trump's administration, and then it went away, and now I have nothing, so it's really important to hold on to the things that are, close to you, that you can reach out and touch. It's hard. It's hard. I think it's really important to sort of check in with yourself. I know a lot of people I see online are like, find something small that makes you happy in the midst of all of this terror that we're sort of living through right now. And I sort of am leaning the opposite way. I'm like, whenever I can find myself being mad about something very tiny, I'm like, thank God I still have the capacity for that. You clapped, ma'am. What is something small and insignificant that has enraged you? Oh, no, I am mad, but maybe not always about the right things, Like, someone cut me in line at Whole Foods, and I was furious, That's the kind of stuff I want to be mad about right now. But it's tough. Like, the other day I was on Facebook, and I saw that my very first high school boyfriend got engaged. And so now it's like that whole thing where I have until dawn on the next leap day to find true love, or I revert back to my original form, And that's difficult for me to accept. It's hard. I know what you're thinking, like, what was your original form? And you're right, it was a very small, sick horse. who someday dreamed of being an adult Asian man with dry skin. You know, we all have our dreams. We all have to hold on to them. It's tough. I got dumped for the very first time in 2016, which was really tough. Here's a pro tip from me to you if you live in New York City. Never break up with someone in Central Park because you have just ruined 6 miles of wilderness for that person. I truly would love to go back and look at the trees, but I can't, you know? It's blocked off from me now. Within 3 days of that breakup, I cut off all my hair, started crying in public for the very first time and doing yoga, which I'd never explored before. And I was like, oh my God, I'm turning into a white woman. You know, like what is happening to me, these interests? It's pretty crazy. I did like the yoga though. The yoga has been especially helpful, I find. I don't know if I have any yogis in here, but the beginning of yoga class, they always ask you to set your intention. And I always set my intention for revenge. And I find that to be especially therapeutic, just sort of holding on to the rage that is sort of inconsequential. It's tough. I get a lot of advice from people who are in love a lot. You know, a lot of people tell me, like, Joel, don't be so desperate. Stop being so thirsty. Play hard to get. You know, like that's one that I hear most often when I get dating advice. Play hard to get, which is very difficult for me to do because I'm very easy to get. You know, it's been tricked into a lot of situations. I'm very sexually gullible, as they say. It's tough. In 2016 alone, this is not a joke, this is 100% true, I was stood up by 3 different men on 3 different first dates, which is wild. Wow, none of you seem shocked, which is really not that supportive for me. Yeah, stunned silence. Thank you for putting a spin on that. Alternative facts. Kellyanne, is that you? It's wild. No, I was stood up by 3 different guys on 3 different first dates, and it sucked. And I think like the hardest part about that for me was just not knowing how those men died. You know, like what happened to them. It's the not knowing that hurts the most. You know, it's tough. Are any of you at this table here in a relationship right now? Currently, both of you. Okay, don't brag. I just asked a question. Just you don't have to, you know, throw it in my face. That's great. What would be your advice for me? How did you do that? Lots of wine. That I can do. That's crazy because I do that a lot and I'm still single. So I don't know what you're doing differently. Maybe it's because you're a gorgeous blonde woman. What about you? You said you were shaking your head yes as well. What's your advice for me? How did you do it?
My house caught on fire and we moved in together.
Oh, so a trick. I can do that. You just gotta trick them into it. I would not be opposed to setting something on fire to get my way. Probably do that, okay. Are you friends? Do you know each other? Now, before you were in a relationship, were you guys each other's like wingman for each other a lot? That's awesome. That's awesome. You've got to have a good wing person. Now, who more often than not had to be the grenade? You know, or the person to jump on the grenade, rather, for the other. You know, took one for the team, took the ugly friend. She's throwing you under the bus right now. I can see it in her eyes. No, you got to find a good wing person. I have a really good friend in New York who's my wingman, and we're really good. We're really close. We're so close that we came up with a special language that we use when we're out together. We want to talk about a man in front of him, and we don't want him to know, you know. And so it goes something you guys can use. Anybody in here can use the code. I'm sure it will work seamlessly for you. We just go up to each other while the man is there, and we just ask, what do you think of the new Beyonce album? You know? And then the answer sort of dictates. It's either like, I love the new Beyonce album, get out of here, go request another song, or I hate the new Beyonce album, we have to leave, you know? It's one of the or the other. But the problem is with this code is that the drunker we get, the more obvious it becomes what's happening, you know? So it sort of becomes like, oh, what did you think of the new Beyonce album? And it's like, listen, I love the new Beyonce album, but you should really see it under fluorescent lights because I just ran into the new Beyonce album in the men's room and it looks way different than you think it does. Okay? Or like, I liked the new Beyonce album a lot until I heard it say that President Barack Obama was born in Kenya. You know, so something you should know about the new Beyonce album. Or my personal favorite, I love the new Beyonce album, but it is clearly 20 years older than it told you it is. So be careful. I still went home with that one though, you know. So I don't discriminate based on age when I am dating at all. You know, I'm like a good Pixar film that way. You know, the outside's for kids, but there are layers for grown-ups too. You know, and a little bit of something for everybody. I find. In fact, I love an old gay. Old gays are so great because they have so much cooler shit in their apartment. You know, like. I went home with one recently, and he was giving me a tour of his apartment, and he was like, "This is my living room," and I was like, "A whole room for living? What? Like, that's crazy, you know?" And he was like, "This is my office," and I was like, "You have a job? Cheers," you know? And he was like, "This is my MacBook," and I was like, "You're rich, you know what? What more do you need?" And then we got to the end of the tour, and he was like, "And this is my 16-year-old son Christian's room. He's with his mother this weekend," and I was like, "Oh." And it was really weird for me because I just had to stop and be like, am I ready to be a stepmom? You know, like, can I be that for this boy? I just don't know, you know. But then I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, you know, dating somebody with a 16-year-old son, that's nothing, that's no problem, you know, like that's just like owning an iPhone, you know, you just gotta wait around for 2 years and then you get an upgraded model, right? No, you guys are right, I'm wrong. That was bad and disgusting, and that's why I'm single. I'm willing to accept that. It is frustrating for me. I have a lot of straight male friends, very bravely. I'm willing to admit that to you tonight. And it's frustrating because you guys seem to misunderstand a lot about the experience of being gay. Like, you know, I have a lot of friends in there. Whenever I complain about it, they're like, "Joel, like, what are you complaining about? You know, like, I wish I could be gay, you know? If I were gay, my life would be so much easier, you know, because gay guys, they fuck all the time. Like, if I were gay, I'd be having so much more sex than I am right now." And it's like, no, you wouldn't, because you'd still look like that, you know? Like, it's not how this works. I don't understand, you know, why you got confused. It's, in fact, much harder. We grade on a much sharper curve in the gay community, you know? There are no Kevin Jameses frolicking about with a Leah Remini in our community. It just doesn't happen that way. In fact, it's much more difficult, I have to say. Like, in Chicago, where I'm from originally, I was like a 7, you know, on a good day, and then I moved to New York, and I found out very swiftly I was a 6, and then I go to Los Angeles, and I found out I'm like a solid burn victim, you know? Like, it's just not easier for us. It's much harder in a lot of ways. We're mean people, gay men, and it's tough. But I will give you guys this. Like, we may not have more sex than you guys, but we do have more interesting sex. You know, like, for instance, I have had sex in an IKEA and at a Target. I love to shop, you know, like, things like that. It's great. One of my favorite places to have sex, I love just having sex in places I'm not supposed to. And one of those places is the steam room at my gym, which is really fun. Because I feel like it's like the ideal climate for gay men to thrive, you know, because it's dark and it's moist. We're like mold. It's essentially, you know, we have a lot in common with mold in that way. I remember a while ago, like right before the election, like, I was like hooking up with like 2 guys in the steam room. We were having a great time, and then in comes this group of straight men, and they walk right in. And we scatter like roaches, you know, like we're supposed to. And these straight men, they like sit down and they just start talking about chicken and broccoli and things like that, you know. And the guy who sort of like initiated the hookup, who sort of he was like driving the ship. He was the captain of the hookup, if you will. He looked at these men at one point, and he was just like, "You guys horny?" And they were like, "Oh, no. We are not horny." And then what he said next was amazing. He looked at them and he was like, "Then you gotta go." You know? And he's like, "You have to go." And they did, you guys. They got up and without another word, they left. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly the response that I wanted to have in that moment. It was crazy. They left and we resumed, and as I was like finishing that man off, I was like, "Oh no, you should be president." With this gravitas that you have, you should be president. All right, you guys have been amazing. I'm Joel Kim Booster. Thank you so much.
How are you? Thanks. So I got my my wisdom teeth out. I had all 4 surgically removed, and at the time, I was dating a woman that had her own business, and getting my wisdom teeth out, I had to have somebody drive me and also sign in agreeing that they were going to drive me home. And so my ex did not want to take any time off of work to drive me back. She would drive me there. That was the plan. She said, I'll drive you there. I will sign you in, but then I'm going to leave. And I was like, okay, that sounds great. I was 24, and somebody was basically just saying, I'm going to leave you for dead. And I was like, totally fine with me. So she signs me in, she takes off, and then I get put under, and they take out my wisdom teeth. And when they rolled my gurney in to my room where I was supposed to rest, they moved me from the gurney to the hospital bed. And in that move, I woke up and remembered that I did not have a ride home. I was like, okay, I gotta escape. So I concocted this plan that just basically meant I was gonna hop up off the bed and run out of the hospital. And I was so drugged, like I had just been under, like basically dead. So I was running through the halls of the hospital all crooked and got out to my car. I was like, I only lived like a couple of miles from the hospital, but it was a major situation. And so I get into my car, I start it up, I drive off, and I get to the first stop traffic light, and I was awoken when I rear-ended the car in front of me. I mean, how long could the light have been? 30 seconds, I don't know, but I was so relaxed and my foot just, I guess, just slid off the brake. And then I gently tapped the car in front of me. And then he got out and came up to my window and he was like, what's going on? I was just like, yeah, sorry about that. And he was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. Totally fine. I drive off. I get home. And I lived in this 3-story Victorian house. And I lived in the attic. And my 2 closest friends that I grew up with and had moved all around the country with lived in the apartment below me. And when I pulled up, I saw my friend Leslie's car parked there. It's like, oh, good, Leslie's home. And the medication, it was starting to wear off. And I needed to get back to the hospital. So I had 4 gaping holes in my mouth. So I went up on Beth and Leslie's deck, and they had this glass door. Again, I saw Leslie's car parked there, the glass door, and then they had this curtain covering the glass with like this little bit at the bottom where you could see into their house. And I was banging on the door. I was like, Leslie! Leslie! No response. And I'm so drugged that I start to make up in my mind that she's in there and she does not want to help me. So then I'm lying on the patio, peeking through that window, just lying on the patio, just banging, Leslie! Just like, come on. Like, she didn't know what was going on because I was too embarrassed to tell my friends that my ex didn't want to take the day off to, because they'd be like, why didn't she? And I'm like, eh. So I'm banging. I've created in my head, shouldn't want to help me out. So I go down the steps of the patio, down to the first floor. I go around to the front of the house. And I think if she is home and she just didn't hear me, I'm going to start yelling up to the front of the house. So when I came around, there was this woman lying on a, why is my vocabulary so limited? Not a hammock, any other guesses? Not a sofa. No. Should I just end the story here? I should have learned these words first. Okay, like you lie in them to get sun. Lounge chair, that's all I was looking for. Don't look at me like that. She was like, lounge chair. Call it whatever you want. We could even say it was a hammock. It doesn't matter. We could say she was sitting on a tree trunk. She was lying there, sunbathing. So I came around, and when she saw me come around, she was like, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I just, do you know Leslie and Beth? And she was just, no. Okay, my friends Leslie and Beth live on the second floor, and they're not answering their door, and I need a ride to the hospital. Have you seen them? And she was like, no. She felt very, I think, vulnerable lying there in her bikini, and she was clearly a new neighbor because the people in the basement had moved out, and that's what I added up. This is our new neighbor. So I was like, okay. So I go back around, just one more attempt. Go back up to the, what are the it's like, it's made of wood. It is a porch. What was the other guess, though? Deck. I like that, too. You really need to drop your attitude. Yeah, you. You with the bad attitude needs to be dropped. So I go over to the wooden You know what? I'm not going to be treated like this. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. It's clear that I am going to be treated this way. I went up to the... Now I'm being treated really bad. You know it wasn't that. It was the deck / porch / you know what it was. I went back up there. When I went up to the deck, it was a horrifying sight. There was blood trailing all the way to Beth and Leslie's door. I'm not stupid. I'm horrified now, and I'm like, with more energy, Leslie! Leslie! Somebody has killed Leslie. And I think she has plotted against me, and now I'm feeling bad because I didn't even notice this trail of blood that is my friend. So I'm banging on the door. The door opens. This time the door opens. Leslie opens the door, and she's like, oh my God! And I was like, Leslie! You guys, I didn't know it. You're not going to believe whose blood that was on that wooden area. That was my blood. I had trailed that blood on their porch. And so Leslie, she didn't know I had my wisdom teeth out. So she opens her door, sees, not only am I bleeding, but my lip is numb. I'm like, my whole mouth is numb. And I'm supposed to be asleep still. I'm supposed to be lying in a hospital bed. But I've driven in a moving, one of those four-wheel, I was in a car driving through town with 4 bloody, gaping holes in my mouth. Get there. I thought Leslie was dead. I don't know what she thought was going on with me. I actually never asked her. But I still feel horribly for the woman that was sunbathing. I mean, at least the guy that I had rear-ended was at least like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. What could possibly be the problem? Can't somebody nap in between traffic lights? There was no damage done to his car, so I was kind of like, what is your problem? But I appreciated that he was like, "Are you okay?" Whereas the woman sunbathing, no question, just a person with blood pouring out of their mouth and down their shirt comes around the corner. And I was like, "Hi, I'm trying to get to the hospital." And she's like, "Yeah, I haven't seen Leslie." You guys, that is my story for you. Thank you so much. Good night.
We have the interview you all have been waiting for. I hope you guys are as drunk as I am, because that is the only way this is gonna work. This person does not need an introduction, but I will provide one for you. He is a comedian, an actor, a Family Feud host, best-selling author of Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, radio personality, and host of his very own talk show. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Steve Harvey.
Hey, everybody. All right, now. All right, everybody. Welcome to Family Feud. I'm your host, Steve Harvey.
Wait,
Let's
Steve,
get
no.
started.
This is another round. You're not on Family Feud.
Say what now?
Do they let you leave the set?
No, my whole family lives there.
Okay, well, I'm hosting this show.
They let women host the show?
They do let women host shows now, yes.
What?
Steve, I gotta say, this is the least amount of buttons I've ever seen you in.
You like this suit? You like this suit, player?
It's a situation, yes.
Yeah. So
for the
this
people
suit
at home, can you please describe your beautiful ensemble?
I would love to, little lady. So this suit is from my latest line, which you can find at Sears and in some Costco's. This particular suit is called Old Man in the Club. Because when you in the club and you ain't got no business being there, you need to look fresh, okay? Fewer buttons, still way too much fabric.
You look a little different. You look like you've had some work done.
I don't know what you mean.
All right, we like to start all our interviews. What do you do and why?
All right, we asked 75 otters if you had potato salad, in what order would you eat it? Survey said,
we're still on my show? I don't know if...
These cards say Family Feud. Am I tripping?
Okay.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
write a lot about dating and relationships. Do
I
you
do.
have any
I do.
advice for women trying online dating right now or trying to figure it out in the online space?
Yes. Well, I believe.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I just got my mustache done, so.
We should have totally rehearsed with the mustache.
Well, I don't rehearse, sweetheart. I'm a professional. This is live. So funny you should ask about my advice to women because I have just written another book. It is called Woman Don't.
That's the end of the sentence.
That's all. It's
That's
just a
it?
list of things that women don't need to do.
So what should women don't?
Oh my gosh. They just so much. For instance, eat soup.
I'm sorry?
Because see, here's the thing. Because when you eat soup, you got to make the slurping sound. You know, when you got to. That's gonna make the men think that you like slurping other things. And you're never gonna get married that way. And if a woman don't get married, then why is she here? Why is she here? Huh?
I'm not sure. I'm just out here trying to live.
All right, we asked 100 shoe cobblers if you had a pet manatee and you had to give it a name.
I'm sorry,
Tyrone is the number one answer.
I hear you. So
Tyrone.
I'm glad you bring up Family Feud because I'm a big fan and it's clearly
thank
your
you, thank
best work. What are some of the... I'm a huge fan. What are some of the craziest answers you've heard on Family Feud?
Oh man, I love this question here. Okay, so this one time, the category was name.
What was that, Steve?
I'm sorry. The category was name 10 things that women want most in the world.
Okay.
And this one woman said equal pay. Equal pay. That's the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. All right, we asked 85 cacti. If you were a mermaid, what would you do? Drink water was the number one answer.
All right, Steve, you know what? This has been quite an interview.
Who in this room has ever been to New York
City. Pretty cool.
Okay, most of you.
Center of the world.
They're like, I've never smelled. I've never been to New York City.
Yeah, so this is a little song about that.
When New York's got you down,
When the city makes you blue, just take a look around. There's magic all around you. You can go on a spree to gay old Paris, and you don't have to leave NYC. Just go to Le pain, le pain, le pain quotidien, croissant, baguette, soufflé. Le pain, le pain, le pain quotidien, prête à manger. I saw Gerard Depardieu kiss Audrey Tattoo at Panera and Murray Hill. Marion Cotillard has a frequent buyer card at Au Bon Pain.
ah, où est le pain quotidien?
Je m'appelle Isabelle Huppert.
Ah, oui, oui.
Blue is the warmest color. And lest we forget, Paris baguette and Cosette, Cosette, there is a castle on a cloud.
Les Miserables.
And it looks like le pain, le pain, le pain quotidien, croissant, baguette, soufflé. Le pain, le pain, le pain quotidien, Timothy Chalamet. I saw Juliette Binoche eating brioche at Guy and Gaillard in Times Square. Oh, mon frère, I wish that you'd been there. So if you are sad, light up a cigarette, turn on Amelie, and pretend you're laying in gay Paris.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
I just do want to say that last line, gay Paris does mean gay Paris.
Gay Paris.
In French.
That's what it translates to
in case
roughly.
anyone didn't get that.
I actually recently...
We're having fun.
We're having a good time.
Rachel smells.
I smell. I had a really big month last month actually because or this month. Oh God, it was the beginning of this month, which is crazy. This month has been 4 years long. But does everyone feel that way? The news? Have you heard about this news?
Don't even go there.
But yeah, I went to Belgium and I went to
Okay.
Brussels and I went to the world's first Le Pain de Quotidien.
Mm-hmm. You sent me like 5 pictures.
I
And it's
kept
really
taking
just one
pictures.
building, but you were like, there's Le Pen.
Well,
There's Le Pen from over here.
First,
It
I
was
went to a Le
beautiful.
Pen in Belgium and was like, or in Brussels, and I was like, I'm in a Le Pen in Belgium. Like, this is where it's from. And then we were walking down the street, and I saw the first Le Pen, and I got so excited. Like, and there's a plaque on it that's like, this is the first Le Pen from like 1990 or something.
Founded in 1641. You have to sit at a table
Yeah.
unless you're getting takeout.
Yeah, I got asked to leave because I ordered a drink to stay or to go, and then I sat at a table to stay, enjoying the view
That is so
of Le
punk
Pen.
rock.
And
of
then
you.
someone came out and was like, "You actually can't drink that here. You have to go."
Wow.
So
And
I
you
spent-
got kicked out of Belgium.
I spent 3 nights in a Dutch jail,
Right.
and then I owe Le Pen $4 billion.
Oh, well, we'll
So-
make it all up when we sell them that song.
Can you imagine?
This next song is about the importance of self-care.
Life can be hard, sometimes you need to unwind. I have an end of day routine to clear my mind. I turn off the lights, silence my phone, 'cause this is the time when I am finally alone. I lay down and close my eyes. And then I think about everything I've ever done wrong. I think about everything I've ever done wrong. I remember all my faults and relive them in my head. And then at 3 a.m. I can finally go to bed.
Ned, what do you think about it?
I'd love to tell you. I think about the time in 2nd grade when I threw up on the art table. My teacher was showing us what we were gonna draw, and I threw up on her picture. I could have vomited on the floor, but I threw up on the picture instead. Mrs. Caggiano, I am sorry about your picture. I think about it every night. It keeps me awake. I lay down and close my eyes. And then I think about everything I've ever done wrong. I think about everything I've ever done wrong. I start at the beginning and go year by year, and at 4 a.m. I pass out. Rachel, would you like to tell
Yes.
us what? Okay.
I think about the time a girl in high school told everyone that she thought I was gay, and the reason she gave was that I was too obsessed with Sandra Bullock in the movie 2 Weeks Notice. That's not something I did wrong. No, that is something she did wrong. But I'm the one who thinks about it
Every single night I think about all the things I can't control and how I could have controlled them. I think about all the things that can't be fixed, and I try to fix them by thinking about them really hard. I lay down and close my eyes, and then I think about everything I scroll through Twitter for 7 hours, and at 6 a.m. I go to work. At work I still feel really bad. I think about the time I beat myself at camp. I think about the time I slept with a guy who I knew was bad, but I fucked him for a year. I think about how I'm not the only one in the world, and then I feel bad because the world is bad. I think about how climate change is real. I think about the military-industrial complex. I think about the fact that 53% of white women voted for Trump.
No!
I think about the future when I am dead, and I wonder, will worms eat my eyes? Will worms eat my eyes? Will worms eat my eyes?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for letting us share our little tips.
It feels good to share.
Yeah.
It's so important to think about everything you've ever done wrong in the 4 hours
It's
before you go to sleep.
incredible for your skin and your hair.
Your organs.
It's good for your organs too.
We want to try something. Ned really doesn't want to try this.
No, I do. I really do.
Who
I'm
saw
ready.
Cats? Okay, great. What if I was like, we're all getting up on the stage and we're gonna be cats?
Well,
We're gonna walk around
watch
the room.
it right now in this curtain parts, and we all just watch it again.
So basically,
Hottest movie of the year.
hottest movie of the year. I really liked it.
I did too
You thought
because
it
I
was-
thought it was really hot.
Can
All
you
their
describe?
fur.
Can you describe like? Oh, well, you said like.
When Idris Elba
Yeah.
like takes off his clothes and his fur body is revealed,
Yeah.
and you feel like you're looking at his naked body, but it's fur.
Yeah.
And he has no genitals, but you could swear that you're just staring directly into making direct eye contact with his genitals. But it's fur.
And they're staring back.
I love it. 2 thumbs up from me.
Yeah, you were the lone positive review on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, that was me.
And you just said, I thought it was hot.
Yeah, I was like, I loved that furry dick.
Dick.
Yeah.
That furry absence of a dick, which is
Yeah.
beautiful, and that's art.
Right. Totally. Castration is art.
And that's art.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so basically, what happened was we learned Mr. Mistopheles, the chorus, in the green room 20 minutes ago, and we thought it would be just really fun to all sing it together, just as a kind of
Okay, I
social
know.
experiment.
Yeah, just to kind of everyone introduce yourselves to the person sitting next to you and say we're about to sing Magical Mr. Mistopheles.
So the words are, oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
Good.
You got that?
Everyone's got that, right?
Okay, we'll demonstrate and then you can join in. And we'll just repeat it over and over again until we all die.
Yeah. Until they ask us to leave. Then we die.
I think we'll find an ending together. We don't know any of the words of the verses, so don't even think about
Don't.
singing them. We're just gonna sing the chorus.
No
Don't you
ingenues. I don't know.
And no dancing. Just kidding. You should dance.
Okay, ready?
Okay, ready? And we all say,
Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
Everybody!
Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
louder!
Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
I'm gonna come into the audience like the cats did in Cats.
I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
I've never seen the show. I think it was like that.
Yeah.
Oh, a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. I can't hear you.
Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr.
Mistopheles. We're gonna bring it on home. Ready?
Magical Mr. Miss. Oh, we're doing it again.
Oh, well, never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
Nobody does it like Mr. Mistopheles. Thank you
much.